My name's Corrie Parnell, the Wellington District Commander. I'll just read to you a written statement in respect of events that have unfolded this afternoon in Wainuiomata. A man has died after being shot by police in Wainuiomata this afternoon. Police were called to a suspected family harm incident outside a property on Coast Road about 11:45 a.m. this morning. On arrival, a man behaving in an agitated manner was seen holding a weapon to a woman's neck. Cordons were put in place while police staff negotiated with the man. The man continued to threaten harm to the woman, and at about 1 p.m, police shot the man once. Immediate medical assistance was provided, however, he died at the scene. The woman involved was not injured. Police will be providing support as she is understandably shaken by what has occurred. At this time, police will not be releasing the man's name, details or age, and I wish to at this stage extend my condolences and thoughts sincerely to the whānau of this man at an extremely difficult time. Cordons will remain outside the property on Coast Road for some time. With a scene examination currently underway, you can expect that to go into the early hours of the scene and the coming days. We understand that fatal police shootings or incidents are frightening events, and particularly for the local community, who will also be shaken at this time. There will be a large police presence in the area to provide reassurance not only today but in the days to follow. A fatal shooting is an outcome nobody wants and will have significant long-lasting impacts on both the officers involved and their families. Those staff who attended are being supported by our police wellness services and their fellow colleagues. Several investigations are now underway, including a police critical incident investigation. The matter has been referred to the Independent Police Conduct Authority. The incident, I can advise, is not related to the fatal vehicle crash this morning. Happy to take questions.
Why have you not identified the man?
I'll take one question at a time.
Why have you not identified the man yet?
At this stage, the matter is in the early stages of the investigation. It's also subject to the coroner, and I'm not at liberty to advise at this detail.
Can you confirm his relation then to the woman?
My understanding at the present moment is the two were in a relationship.
What was the weapon? What was the weapon the man was holding to the woman?
So I won't be drawn on the nature of the weapon at this stage.
Can you confirm it was a screwdriver?
I won't be drawn on the weapon at this stage. What I can confirm is it wasn't a firearm.
Was the weapon being held to the woman when the police fired the shot?
My understanding on the brief I've received, this was a highly agitated situation and evolving, and the weapon in question was being held to the female party.
Whereabouts was the man shot?
I won't be drawn on that, but the single shot was fired.
And was the property that police were called to, is that where the couple lived or where one of them lived?
So at this stage it appears we've received our notification from the public, and it appears to have evolved from what has been described some sort of family harm incident from a vehicle, and has ended up in a neighbouring property.
When you said outside the property, can we just have confirmation that the incident actually occurred on the road, or was it still involved in that private property on some farmland?
It's not having yet visited the area in question. It is a remote part of Coast Road, but my understanding it's in the exterior environs and that neighbouring property area. It's not inside a dwelling.
Sorry, it's quite hard to hear with this door.
Yes, it is, sorry. Can we fix the door?
You say in the statement that it was, you were called, well, police were called to the incident at around 11:45.
Yes.
The man was shot at 1.
Yes.
Can you describe what was going on between then and the shooting?
Yes, I understand that extensive negotiations were occurring as it was evolving, and police were arriving, as well as medical assistance as well.
Was he responding to
As best described in early stages, as you appreciated, the investigation is described to me as a highly agitated state in terms of what was unfolding for our police. Approximate first, or the only shot was fired.
Can you speak about police's actions here? Obviously, it's in the early stages, but those steps were taken to prevent further harm to the woman?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, again, early stages. Quite frankly, none of our people come to work each day for this outcome. So in the fullness of the investigation, we'll establish the exact what has unfolded here that ultimately has resulted in someone losing their life today.
But with police normal procedure, why would have they been taking this action today?
Yeah, this is a normal, well, not normal, but our police officers every day have a suite of tactical options. They, in every scenario that they're faced with or any job they're attending, they have an onus to apply a risk assessment and a threat assessment, which will have occurred today. The fullness of how that's played out for those involved today will be established in the fullness of the inquiry.
Why weren't family allowed to try and speak to him before he was shot?
Ordinarily, from my experience, that wouldn't be normal part. I can advise that our police negotiation team were deployed to this particular job and had arrived, and that's where it best sits in terms of the appropriate response.
So what negotiation tactics were used then?
So at the early stages, a number of staff responded to this incident. What I have said, a number of negotiations were occurring and verbal appeals to the parties without a successful outcome.
Can I just go back to earlier, you mentioned this, I just want to confirm, are you aware that the weapon was being held to the woman at the time that the man was shot?
I can't specifically say the exact at the time the shot was fired. That's still to be established in the interview, but I am aware there was a presence of a weapon in such a state that we've been had to make a decision.
You talked about the risk assessment, but I just want to be really clear for people that aren't as aware
Sure.
of these things.
Yeah.
Normally police would be guided by that situation you've discussed as
Yes.
wanting to prevent harm.
Yeah. Yeah, highly volatile. Look, each and every one of our officers is trained to assess what's happening in front of them. First and foremost, they must establish the threat environment to what they're trying to police, be that in this case what appears to be clearly at the early stages a hostage type scenario. So they'll establish that threat not only to individuals, the wider public's critical, but also themselves. So those are three things that are running through, and in this type of scenario very quickly unfolding. They need to establish very quickly as part of that assessment the exposure. Is that very real, immediate? Do we need to take action now and come to that conclusion in terms of what they're forming in their mind? The next part is they will be required to make a determination. What is the necessity now for me to act and take action? And lastly, in terms of once in considering all of that, what is the proportionate and appropriate response with what I have available to me tactically as a police officer to deal with the situation?
Do you know this is the people in the region is this?
As I've said in the stand up here, look, none of our people come to work for this type of outcome. Yeah, it's a tragic outcome for all involved, and I can't stress enough these life-changing events that are enduring for all.
Do you have any message to the people of the region who have sort of seen two quite serious incidents in a day, one with the 9i, one with Wainuiomata? Obviously they're not related, but they are two quite serious incidents.
Yeah, without question. And I'd also draw, we've had the recent child homicide that's still ongoing in the same area. So understandably, the community, rightly so, will feel very heightened. I can stress in terms you can expect a higher police presence over the coming days and weeks, and our role is to provide that reassurance. Equally, right now in the Wainuiomata community, which is a very tight knit community, we reached out this afternoon in terms of our iwi and again the local marae, and again we will encourage people to engage with their local iwi and supporting partners during this difficult time.
I'm just unclear on this one detail, sorry. was a vehicle involved and how was it involved? Was
So
the
the-
woman trying to get away?
In the initial information I have